Well, we've kind of shifted into marketing, but that's cool. We can talk about marketing and check that one off, and then we'll go and talk about whatever the hell we were going to talk about.
Here's a random question for you guys.
Here's a random answer for you. 73.
Great.
Blue.
Wonderful. That was right. We all do our own marketing. You do a lot of self-marketing, do you?
I don't do enough.
Majority of my work is self-marketing.
Not enough, but yes.
Yeah. Being the one among us with no representation, basically. All my business, all my clients, they're all self-market. So I've accumulated them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you schedule your marketing emails out, or do you do them and send them?
I
try to schedule mine. I usually schedule a week's worth at one time.
Like in one sitting?
Yeah. So I know some are being released on Monday, then Tuesday as the week goes.
Oh, so you do it staggered. Okay.
Yes.
I do a little bit of both. It depends.
Yeah.
If I'm responding to somebody, obviously that's right away.
Yes.
Unless it's late. Like if it's after hours when I see it, then I might schedule it for the morning.
You had me confused here for a second because I know your schedule, Will.
Yeah.
What do you consider late? Anything after 8 a.m.?
No, after normal business hours.
Air quotes.
Normal.
Gotcha.
Other people's normal.
Right. So if I see it at a normal time for me,
yes,
then it's probably late, and I'll schedule the response for morning probably, right?
Gotcha.
But if I'm doing cold outreach or, lukewarm outreach, I suppose, I still try to schedule things so they'll land, during business hours.
Sure.
Preferably not on a Monday or a Friday because people are kind of crazed on Mondays and trying to get out of there on Fridays. It's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are kind of ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of midday,
Same.
right? You don't want it too early and you don't want it too late. Kind of midday, Tuesday through Thursday.
That's pretty lukewarm.
Yeah.
And I like I do have some templates that I can customize. That way I'm not writing out every single thing all the time.
Man, I took Jonathan Grant's points of view on how to set up those letters. And he said, you're not writing a novel.
Right.
Introduce yourself. This is what I do. This is the business that I've done, this style, and let it go.
Mm-hmm.
It makes writing those letters so much easier. Thank you, Jonathan Grant.
And how's that going for you?
So far, so well.
Getting good results?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I got my first agent, or my first, New York agent. And I will never, ever forget, they told me, thank you for keeping this short and sweet. You didn't tell us, I have a fluffy cat, and that's how I name my business. And oh my gosh, and I love taking long walks. Like, nobody wants your dating profile. No. Just keep it short.
And they don't want to hear about Uncle Touchy.
Don't want to hear about Uncle Touchy. Exactly. That's right. We had that conversation. But being able to have it short like that is so much easier for everybody.
Yeah. Bullet points.
For us and for them.
It keeps it real. I want to say more real, but, English.
More better good.
And you know what else is really
more better
helpful?
best.
Honestly, send it to yourself first and see how it looks on mobile. If it looks like you're just
I wouldn't
scrolling
hire myself.
and scrolling.
I'll just ignore it.
No, but I mean, in terms of how much text have you written?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're scrolling.
Should I put it in different color?
If you could send like a scented email, that would be amazing, Al. Yes. Like it could be like peony and lavender. Amazing.
Yeah.
I was thinking gumbo.
There you that would
he's got that Louisiana thing going on.
Although if it smelled like beignets.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Different size fonts, different color lettering.
No.
Oh, sure. Lots of emojis.
All the emojis. Yes.
Lots.
Especially in the subject line. Yeah.
What's that, Victoria? What's that you're thinking?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
You can just
gonna go over here and sip my tea.
Just like 3 of the poop emojis because I don't want to in your subject line actual name.
Al is
by sending unsolicited emails. Bam.
Just a little,
actually just trying to start
extra.
a conversation with these people.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's
But it could be construed that way by some, I suppose. Maybe. So I've created some new email addresses to send from.
Do you have all those followed?
So
you can tell which ones have been
actually have a new tool that I've started. I haven't actually started. I don't know if the new one will do that. The old one, I don't think the old one did either. I'm not sure if there's a way to know if it landed in spam or not, other than just, no response.
In Google, Gmail, you can tell if it gets mail tracker. You can tell if you get blocked. It tells you that. It tells you it's been read 10 times. which is always good.
I've got Mail Tracker. Yeah. I have had a couple that ended up in spam, and then future follow-up emails, they finally responded, and they were like, oh, sorry, I didn't see it. It ended up in spam the first time or whatever, because they're Outlook email, and they'll flag anything that's external as external, and it files it differently. So it wasn't probably necessarily spam, but it was a different folder that they don't look at.
So it got flagged and pushed aside.
Yeah, and then they just didn't see it. But I've done a pretty decent cold outreach campaign for rock stations for imaging.
Right.
And I could pull up my stats if you want to know my actual stats.
Do we want to know? Pull it up. I want to see.
I don't know what the actual open rates are for cold email. I think it's like 10 or 20% is pretty normal. And that's considered good.
Really?
Yeah. It seems really low though, right?
Yeah.
So my imaging campaign, I sent to 324 people over the course of several months. 77.8% were opened.
Nice.
That's good.
Excellent.
38.3% responded.
That's even better. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's really, really good response rates.
Yeah,
and
that's 50% of what was opened. That's awesome.
Here we go with the math again. Jeez, Louise. Can we get away from
I think the response
math?
rate is based on... I guess I don't know if the response rate is based on who opened it versus the number sent. I guess I don't know. It must be based on the total sent because it's 124 of 324. That's good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So half of what was opened was responded to, basically.
Fully. Nice.
That's crazy good, right?
Yeah.
So my emails are very short. My initial email is totally personalized. I mean, some of it is kind of boilerplate, like what I offer and who I am and whatever. That's pretty much the same every time, but it's personalized for who I'm reaching out to, so I'm not just like blasting these out to whoever I happen to find an email address for. I go and actually find out if it's worthwhile to reach out, like if they have a need for what I offer. If not, I'm not going to bother.
I bother. Push that other guy out of the way.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be a bother.
Don't be a nuisance.
So I dropped that into I've got a funnel, basically. It's a drip campaign, for lack of a better term. But it's nothing that I wouldn't do manually. It just kind of automates the repetitive follow-ups that I would otherwise have to do manually.
Sure.
But what I send in the follow-ups, I would do if I was typing them one by one. It's just like, hey, have you had a chance to listen to my demo? If not, would it be easier if I just send you the file instead of the link I gave you or whatever? And I sent a bunch of these over the course of a year. And if they respond, positive or negative or whatever, it automatically removes them from that list. So they're not going to get another automated response.
Nice.
But then I'll see their response and I'll follow up and I'll start a conversation with them. So this is all set up just to start the initial conversation, right? But I've got a flow that goes, initial email, then a couple weeks later, the next, a couple weeks later, the next. And then eventually it's like a month later, a couple months later, and then 3 months later, whatever.
Sure.
So when they get the last one, it's right around a year after I first contacted them. At that point, then maybe I'll just start contacting them quarterly or something.
Right.
But the whole point is not to make a sale, right? I'm not trying to book a job. It's a little bit different, I suppose, with imaging because I am trying to become their imaging voice.
Sure.
But still, the point is to start a conversation and build a relationship.
It always is. That's how all the business happens.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Short, to the point, tell them what you do, move, get in, get out.
Yeah. And then, I recognize that all of these people are busy. And, I don't like getting random emails from people out of the blue offering something that I don't need, which is why I vet everybody I send stuff to. I'm not sending thousands of these.
Right.
To unvetted people, right? When I first did this, I don't know how many I sent, but I did a little bit of a campaign toward just general video production for like commercial work and stuff. And I would go and watch pretty much everything they had in their portfolio on their website, on YouTube, Vimeo, whatever.
Yep.
And get a feel for the kind of work they do.
It may not be something you want to do.
Right.
It may not be something I want to do. It may not be something that needs me, right? Maybe they don't do voiceover at all. Then there's no reason to reach out to them. But if they do, or if they do something that maybe would benefit from it, and they don't do voiceover right now, then I might reach out. And especially if something jumps out at me that, is really impressive, really, really cool animation or just like beautiful footage or whatever it is. And then I might comment on that specific thing.
You don't ever point out like, hey, get rid of cousin Johnny from doing your voiceover work. Let me help you out.
No, I wouldn't tell them that what they did is terrible. I might suggest that, hey, that animation that you did for that bank, was great. And I feel like if you had voiceover and it might really pump it up to the next level. And I'd love to
done that myself.
I'd love to, read something for you to give you an example of what that might sound like.
Right.
But I'm not going to tell them that anything they did was awful. Like, why would I do that?
mean,
I'm trying to build a good relationship with these people, not be a troll.
I'm just trying to bring in the humor.
Although I will say,
bring in the humor.
on some Instagram posts, like the salesy ones, like, I might make a comment, this would be a lot better if you would have hired a real voice actor instead of the AI voice to voice this for you. ...
Oh, yeah.
And I leave it at that.
You
I do
not.
too. I do.
Oh, I do.
I don't say that I'm a voice actor.
You got balls.
No, because I'm not saying you should give it to me. I'm just saying please don't use AI, basically, because it's horrible. It's absolutely, or is it horrible? It is. It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it depends on my mood. It depends on my mood, right? Like if I stumble across something that is just awful AI narration, and I'm feeling particularly spicy that day, I might, I might give them the business a little bit in the comments section.
Like, hey, this is a cool product, but if you would actually use a real human to sell this, probably even better. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Or ones that don't have any voiceover that are still really good, but would be so much better if they had something. I've commented on a couple. There was one that was
done that. Yeah.
Some kind of fire pit. It's a cool video, but there was nothing. There was nothing. No voice explaining it or anything.
Sure. How about the product and the company name right at the end? Something.
Yeah. It would be so much better if you had a voice. And if you decide to go down that route.
Hey,
hi.
Stop.
I know a guy.
Or a girl.
I might know somebody.
Or a girl.
I know a couple of them.
Them peoples. I know some peeps.
Them peeps. Yep. Yeah. We were talking about peeps last time.
Did we really?
We were.
We did. Yeah. Finding your tribe.
That's right. That's right.
And Easter peeps. We talked about it all. All the peeps.
You're asking me if I have memory loss. Thank you. Yeah.
You're asking me if I listen to this
you were just in New York,
I was just in New York.
I'm going to assume you lost a bunch of that.
It's all right. It's all good. Still home.
I'm still kicking myself for my reaction to something Al said in the very first episode.
Oh. What did you say?
We were talking about who we were, where we came from, whatever. And then Al says something about, you guys have amazing backgrounds. And I just went, well, mine's just black, thinking he was talking about my video. And it wasn't until I listened back later, I was like, what the hell was I thinking? I had literally just finished talking about what I did before this.
It was
how I got into voiceover.
It was comedic. And you know what? God, I think in those first episodes, we may have probably drank differently. We were so young.
We were so
yeah, it was so long ago. We were so young and inexperienced.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Well, we are in a bar, so we should be drinking, I suppose, but juice bar.
Like you're not.
The juice bar. I'm drinking root beer.
I've got tea and tea. Yeah, two types of tea.
I have warm tap water.
Of course. Well, I have green tea, which is room temperature. So, yummy. But yeah, interesting. So you talked about your background. Literally.
Yeah. Look, it's just black.
Why does he like a black background?
Very interesting background.
And then I turned the light on and said, look, now it's blue. And now it won't turn on.
It's a podcast. Nobody's really... we usually don't share that much video, do we?
They can't see this, do they?
I mean, we record it so that we can share it. I've kind of stopped. Maybe I should start again because we were getting a lot of views on our shorts on YouTube.
Should be the outtakes.
Well, that's because I wasn't wearing any
People
clothes.
like to look at our shorts.
That's true. Naked Al over there.
Eat my shorts.
Yeah.
Shirtless Al.
The VO nudie bar.
Although I think the one where you were talking about being a grandma got the most views.
Can we not?
Grandma?
I'll bet you, though, if I were to go back and make a video of Jonathan talking about Uncle Touchy, that one might get a lot of views.
We really should use that. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get
you mean whenever we need YouTube a bump in ratings, break out the Uncle Feely?
Uncle Touchy, yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Speaking of...
Maybe I'll commission an Uncle Touchy puppet.
I always thought it was really strange about the postman who was really weird on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Mr. McFeely.
Mr. McFeely? Yeah, it's a little bit of a strange name.
So there you go. That's the Uncle Touchy.
You know what else is interesting about that guy is he was actually pretty young. I think he was like in his 20s or something at the beginning of the series. You know, he always played this older mailman.
Sure.
You know, like in his 50s or 60s, but he was like 20.
But a really weird name, you have to admit. They could have made him Mr. McMurphy. They could have said it O'Malley, but no, we went with McFeely. Something a little bit lighter. Have you guys seen Lake Bells in a World?
In a World.
I love that one. That is actually quite good.
I have
it's
not.
Quite
Is
good.
It?
Yes.
Where do you find it?
Is it on Amazon?
Is it Prime?
Yeah, it's on Prime.
Is it?
Yep.
Or Pluto TV. But yeah, it's on Prime.
All right.
Free with ads.
Yeah. Yay.
Yes, it is.
See,
wow. Lots.
Why?
And lots.
Come on,
Hey,
Amazon.
but you know what? This is what we do.
Do better.
We work for those ads. We are those commercials. So you know what? It's okay.
But, you know,
yeah,
I've been a Prime member since the beginning.
So have I.
And it was like $80 maybe. The price has gone up a lot since then.
Yeah.
It's almost double now, I think.
I know.
You know, the free, commercial-free, whatever video, like that was what was guaranteed to us when the video first came out.
Well, and Netflix was always, you know, you used to be able to get the DVD. You weren't watching all the stuff.
Right. And now they want it's something stupid. It's like $2 a month or something. It's such a small amount that it's almost that's an insult, right? Like if you're gonna charge me to remove commercials, charge me like $5-10 a month, not $2.
Well, when you have a gajillion dollars
you know
to start with, why
then why are you charging? Why are you running commercials anyway? Yeah.
Well, you know, the problem is we wanted the deregulation of cable, and we didn't like how cable just ruined our lives because they owned us. So streaming came along, and we're like, yes, awesome. And then so much streaming came along.
I don't remember being part of that discussion.
No, nobody asked us. But I mean, I remember taking surveys saying, how do you get your news or how do you watch TV or any of that? And I would see streaming on there like, who's those losers watching streaming? Like, I'm
You're watching TV on your phone.
Right? I mean, but it is really interesting to see how that shifted. And now, because we've gone away from cable, for you to get sports, which I'm not the sports ball watching type unless I'm in a stadium. That's different, a different experience. But my family does. So different packages to watch football, to watch baseball, to watch. It's not even. It used to just be on CBS, you know, was it, you know, Wide World of Sports, and it was on Sunday.
Or ESPN.
Well, later. But I mean, it's just, it's gotten insane. I may or may not have a subscription to Dog TV.
You totally do. You totally do. I know it.
I'm looking in your eyes. You do.
You totally do.
Why?
Yes.
Why is this a thing?
Well, and that's the funny thing, though, is like everybody left cable to save money by going streaming, right? And now it's like twice as much because you've got 30 different streaming services.
Exactly. Everything's compartmentalized. You go to ESPN, there's ESPN, or in my case, being from the South, you've got the SEC network, then you've got SEC Plus, and then you've got SECN, and you've got SEC2.
So wrong.
It is. It
and
really
then there's
is.
Except if you're doing promo, then it's awesome.
Well,
beautiful.
Amazing.
Pay me, baby.
Because there's so many opportunities there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in a tough spot. We hate it
and love it
we
at
love
the same
it all
time.
at the same time.
We hate it, but we want to get paid.
We do.
But that's been half the problem.
We're not in
is
this for
streaming
free.
hasn't paid.
The reason we hate it
network
is
does.
because we're not on it, which would just make it that much more awesome.
Can you imagine Victoria on the Dog Channel?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Not that I know anything about it.
The Westminster Dog Show.
I think we need to start a campaign
Okay,
for
we need
Victoria to be the narrator of Puppy Bowl.
Oh, no, I couldn't do it because I would have to, like, no. Oh, all the puppies.
Yeah, you should be the voice of the Puppy Bowl.
The voices of the puppies. That's what I want. Oh.
Well, see, there's a new angle that they haven't thought of yet.
Those are the best when you're watching. Oh, God, I can get into memes all day long with all the animals.
What's that?
The ones where they animate them. So you've just got two animals that get the zoomies, and then you've got some genius is there doing the voiceover for them with a regular human voice, but using the proximity effect to make it even funnier. Like, you'll see the cat go, or cat or dog just fly by the screen, and then someone's going, hey, wait a minute, I need to find a scene. And it's just, it's the best. And I laugh until there's tears because it's just like, it's stupid. But it's genius, the way whoever's doing that. I keep saying, ooh, I need to make some clips like that. And I don't. And I should, because it's funny. But I don't.
You don't.
Yeah.
Instead, I
there's the one. There's the one about it's the lazy dog at the top of the stairs, and the other one is zooming around.
Yes. And there, whoever is doing that voice, they're also zooming around. However, they're doing it with the mic at the time, and it's funnier that way because it makes it sound like he's down the hallway when he's left.
Sure.
And the other,
what? What do you want?
So good.
Yes. Pan left, pan right, pan left, pan right. Yes.
But it's more than that, though, because you get the Doppler effect and stuff, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You've got it all. It's coming like this.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Those
we
are
could
good.
talk at some point about creating your own content.
Yeah. Let's do that next.
Sounds good.
We
haven't done last call on this because what was the point of all this recording?
I don't know. We were talking mostly about marketing. You want to talk a little bit more about marketing and then wrap it up? What other marketing do you do besides cold emails?
I try to do a little face-to-face every month.
Really?
Yeah, up here in town, there's actually, I didn't join the chamber in Duluth, but I was in the chamber in Reno when I lived there. But recently, since we've got the new Arena League coming up here in Duluth, I've got season tickets. I've met with the panel that owns them, and whenever they promote something, I try to be there and let them remember who this is. To be the voice of the Duluth Harbor Monsters.
Just the promo voice, or would you want to do live announce?
I want to do the announcing at the games.
Ooh, that's a special
I don't want
skill.
to be, the color guy. I don't want to be the color guy. I want to be the guy that says, "And now, Duluth, the voice of your Duluth Harbor Monsters." I want to be that guy in the stadium.
Okay, you want to be the voice of God. Not calling the game.
Gotcha. No. That's for people who know what they're doing.
Okay. That's why I said that's definitely a special skill because you have to know the ins and outs.
It's a special skill. I want to have fun. I want to be the guy that goes.
Or you're the color guy and you just provide the color commentary.
I could.
So you got the straight
now
man
it's
who's
time
calling
for the kiss cam.
Like, so, he runs with the ball. And, yeah, that's right, Bob. He really sure did run with that ball. Look at him go.
That's what I want. Yeah. So, I go there. They know.
Because you kind of fill that role on the podcast sometimes.
I do.
This is true.
They do. I do. I know. But I'm not here just for my looks. I get it. But I've approached them as the voice talent for the team. So, they know who I am. They haven't responded.
That's all right. That's all right.
Keep poking.
But that's exactly. So you do face to face. You have.
Yes. So I do.
Part of a
do meet up with
Chamber of Commerce. Okay.
I've been thinking about joining the Chamber of Commerce, but my town is so small. Like our population is like 7,000 or 8,000. Yeah. So I don't think the Chamber of Commerce is really going to do much for me.
Do they have a chamber there for that town, or do they?
They do. Yeah,
okay.
They do. But it seems kind of not necessary. I did, however, just discover that there's a town about 20 minutes away that has a chamber that appears to cover a section of the I-94 corridor.
Ooh. Okay.
Sure.
So I'm, further north from that, but maybe I join that.
Is there any public transportation?
Not in my town. No.
That's something I would really like to market to because in New York, there's
be like the voice of the subway or whatever.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Yeah, that's what I think.
Please mind the gap.
No, not that.
A train is approaching.
Right.
What other creative out-of-the-box things do you think we could do for marketing? I've considered, what if I got a billboard somewhere?
I've considered that too, but I'm like, how many people are really hiring voice actors?
Yeah. Every time I think of it, I'm like, well, that's probably stupid. But what if I did it?
A voice actor on a billboard.
Yeah. Or what if I ran a radio ad? That's an interesting idea, right? Radio airtime's kind of cheap. What if I ran an ad that had just a whole bunch of different tones and moods and whatever.
Sure.
And was just like, yeah, your radio ads could sound like this
or they could really suck.
Call this guy. Yeah. Are your radio ads really crappy?
I don't know if they'd let you do that. I don't know if they'd let you do that, Will.
Hey, if you pay the
maybe you should have somebody else.
Well, I don't know, because a lot of the radio stations do all the promos on their station. So they may see that as a conflict of interest.
No, if you're paying, if you pay for the airtime, it's yours.
Yeah, but if I buy the airtime, I can do what I want
as long as
it's FCC compatible. There's a couple of HVAC companies that have just god awful ads.
Probably because it's
one of them is like just a ridiculous, over the top, caricature thing. That okay, whatever. The other one, it's the owners. I think they're brother and sister, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're married. I don't know.
Is she a little bit country and he's a little bit rock and roll? What?
Sure. But they're narrating and they're obviously reading a script and it's not good and the jokes don't land and it's just so bad. And because of how awful their ads are, I will never hire them.
Wildly
I will never
successful.
use them to service my HVAC.
Because they're not funny.
Their ads.
Like, I'm sorry, you're not funny.
They're
ads.
Bad. They make me change the channel.
Wow.
So that's the opposite of what you want. So if your ads are like that, maybe I can help you make them not crappy.
Could we put an ad on the radio about our podcast?
We could.
Oh,
or
see?
a billboard.
But if we were going to do something like that, we would be better off advertising on somebody else's podcast for our podcast.
Kind of like, I know when I'm listening to
someone who has a lot of listeners.
NPR, they do do shameless self-promotion, right? Well, they'll say, hey, listen
and we have to talk
listen
like
to
this.
our podcast on today's culture, blah, 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 right?
Our voices aren't smooth enough for that.
Listen to our voice.
Are you saying that we can't sound smooth?
No, I'm not saying we can't. I'm saying we don't.
We're actors.
I can do that. I've just been told to sound more conversational, so this is what you get, all right?
Pour some cognac.
This is what you get.
Let me just scroll on my phone and talk
Listen to our
you.
podcast.
What?
Today, we're talking about marketing. Join us as we discuss the possibilities.
You disgust me.
Don't touch
Grow your business.
I have a teenager. Shush. Ew.
I heard a couple of girls talking that way at the store last night.
No.
Oh
you punched him in the nose.
No, but
it's
it
painful.
was
so painful.
Bad.
It is.
Have you seen the clip from Louder Milk? It's a show with Ron Livingston where he's like, "Oh my God, why are you talking like that?"
Yeah.
He goes to get a coffee, and the barista's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "A small coffee."
Why
are you talking like that? Why are you talking like that?
You're making fun of me.
Yes.
Yeah. It was that.
It was
that. And
that is a genius skit. Yes.
She's like, this one's 16, and this one's 16, and this one's 24. Let me add that up. That's like $56. That's not bad. Like, oh my God.
Did you just do a math problem again? Why?
She used her phone.
Okay, thanks.
That was her.
Thanks.
Wasn't me.
I'm just like, God.
She was adding up the price of some makeup or
oh my
something.
God. What is y'all?
She's like,
What's a deal?
That's not bad. I have like $100.
And it was only 26.
That's totally fine.
That's amazing. And then we can have like enough money to go get a matcha.
Yeah.
Totes
it was
amazing. No cap.
It's awful. I hate that that's
I
a
do
thing.
too, but hey, what do you do?
Circle back to In a World, because she addresses that at the end of the thing.
That's true. That's true. It's actually good watching.
She calls it the sexy baby voice, right? You're more than just a sexy baby. Oh my God.
And that's like 10 years old, huh?
Probably.
Yeah, that movie's been out for a while.
That is crazy that, like you say, she approached that long ago.
And our coach
I didn't realize,
calls it Nepo Baby, right? Nepo Baby.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Nepo
it was
baby.
has been around that long.
Yeah, 11 years old.
Well, for what it's worth, in the
2013.
80s, we had Valley Girl, which was close. Like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like,
True,
totally.
true.
I know all the words to that song. Frank Zappa and
Yeah,
Moon
it's
Unit
that
and Dweezil. Amazing. It harkens back to that.
with less air support.
Yes.
Because if you take Valley Girl and you take the air support out of it, you just naturally go like
why
that.
I can totally do it. Gag me with a spoon.
People are going to tune out
I
of
know.
this podcast.
They've already...
I care
they
so
already-
little.
Yeah.
I listen to this to learn something, and I get nothing.
Well, here's what you learned, kids. Don't use vocal fry like that.
Ever.
Ever. Ever.
Not ever.
Not ever.
And if you do, learn how not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
All right.
great. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God. I'll see you next week.